union thing, we're not quite there yet, but we're working on it. So let's see, what would you be most interested to know about us? Well, the British didn't turn out to be a big issue. The French did for a while, but we're all cool now. Let's talk about democracy, our republic. We became a great nation, and while imperfect, we've done some great things. 2 American brothers figured out how to fly, and we haven't stopped since. D-Day was incredible. A victory for democracy, defeat for tyranny. And who did we fight alongside? The British. In the summer of 1969, we landed on the moon. We did that a couple of times. George Washington turned out to be the most popular among all of you. He's on our money. He's got his own monument. A bridge was named after him. So was the center of our government. That's where our Congress sits. We spell it, by the way, with 2 S's now. But here in what you named the United States, we are not united. In fact, we have 50 states now, and tonight on election night, we will mark them red or blue to show which candidate has won enough votes to win each state. You never got to see the country we became or how big we got. We've got 350 million people now. You didn't see women as equal members of society. Tonight, a woman is on the ballot for president for the 2nd time. You left us to fight a civil war to abolish something most of you practiced, the enslavement of human beings. And in all the years since, we the people have taken on the push for equality, and it's still a struggle every day. If I'm being honest, there still is not a lot that unites us. There was a day this past spring when the sun went away just briefly. People wept, they cheered at the sight of it, they got engaged, they got married, but mostly they were there united in their amazement. Tonight is a messy one for us. It's election night. We pick a new president between a former president and the current vice president. Last time we did this, it was far from the peaceful process you envisioned. No one ever said striving to be a more perfect union would be easy. Whatever happens tonight, we'll have a republic tomorrow and the next day, but please, Founding Fathers, please grant us the wisdom and the strength to get through this and work this out. This is our home. I've spent all my life calling this the greatest nation on earth. Thank you for all that you did. I know you left us believing you'd done the best you could. We'll take it from here. And look at the time. Our election night starts right now.
Thank you, Brian Williams, for that. That was the introduction to Election Night Live with Brian Williams. And welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all of you here. I wanted you to see that because that introduction describes where we are. And I would rather take the wisdom of a journalist that has been in the game than a misgendered person on YouTube whose name is not really deserved to that person rather than a actual music legend. But that's neither here nor there when that person on YouTube will have the capacity, capability, comprehension, brain cells, vaginal tissue, or enough gumption to understand that the world is bigger than the misgendered person that she is on the other side of the YouTube aisle. But that's neither here nor there. We are here to see Kamala Harris speak. It is 4 o'clock. So with that being said, let's do what we do and go on tour. Good afternoon to you all. It is 16 minutes after 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 3:16 down south. Let's get to the getting here. Hopefully all is well with all of you. But you know, in the words of Niles from The Butler, not the Butler child, Niles the Butler character played by Daniel Davis from The Nanny. In the words of Niles the Butler from The Nanny, I'm still waiting on the DNA results. He said that's a C.C. Babcock. That was some amazing words that he said. So with that being said, let's do what we do here and go on tour. Yeah, I know she's going to concede. I know. So music is going there. Um, like Brian Williams said, let me take down that iconic intro. Higher is Wayne, low is available, but either way, we are live on tour here. Like that intro said, democracy is not easy. Um, is not. If it was, we would all be doing it, correct? So we are all here with all of you. Glad to have all of you here with us. So yeah. So quite a powerful intro from Brian Williams, and that's why I love broadcasting, because to be able to take a monumental experience and give a synopsis of it in 3 minutes or less is quite the task at hand. So yes, indeed, we are still here. Let's see, Arizona has not been reported, Alaska has not been reported, and Nevada has not been reported as of yet. Joe Biden has asked 45 to come to the White House for a meeting. So it looks like we are gearing up for another 4 years. It is what it is. Lil Paulette texted the group chat, "Are we good?" And I said, well, with Sonya, let's get through this 4 years. Sassy said that, we're going to be fine. A misgendered person said it's not the end of the world. Well, of course it's not the end of the world for you. You're misgendered, so we don't know what your identity is. But for the rest of the people who are actually women, who may not have the rights to be able to be free, it's a tragic day for them. So that says a lot about your character. But that's neither here nor there, everybody. And there's also there's also a lot of kids today that were afraid to go to school or to college today because of the racism that is in this country. And like I said today, I don't hate black women, I don't hate black men, I don't hate the black young people, because if we hate on them, then what do our black children and the black young people at college, what do they have as resources today? And for the days and weeks and months and years ahead, all we have is each other as a culture. So we are live on tour here. Glad to have all of you here. Yes, indeed. So, child, a lot going on. So we're just waiting for Kamala Harris at this point. And yeah, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. So hopefully y'all are doing well. I just got done watching episode 3 of Queen's Court. Another good episode. Of course, we'll get into it tonight at 6 o'clock. So as we are waiting for Kamala Harris, to turn on my camera so y'all can see that it's me. I think y'all know my face by now. Hey, I'm here. So right now I am getting your thumbnail together and the show together, rather, for Queen's Court tonight. So yes, indeed. It's fine, child. You have a headache? Well, listen, all we can do is what we can, my friend. That's all we can do. I think the biggest thing that I would say to anybody that would like to criticize Kamala Harris, let's see your ass run for president. And let's see how you deal with 100 days to convince America that somebody should give a damn about you to be president. I mean, if you can't do what she has done, then shut up. And also, too, if we really want to be real about it, 45, even though he was a fascist, a narcissist, and a racist, they convinced the electorate that he was something. So everybody's saying that, oh, Kamala Harris didn't do this, that, and the third, but yet you elected 45, or if you did elect 45, but you vote for Kamala Harris, or if you didn't do neither, you can't do what neither one of them did to galvanize the country to vote for you. So quite frankly, you should shut up. Just being honest. Like, it always amazes me, the people that give commentary on things that are outside of their lane. It's the idiots with the most confidence, and it is the shy ones with the most fear. But you know what the gag is? The shy ones that have the most fear usually have the most confidence because they are articulate, observant, and astute in their thought process. And the idiots that have the most confidence are usually terrified, fearful, and a waste of life that was never chosen to be anything of importance. So with that being said, welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you all here. Child, listen. I'm getting your Queen's Court episode together now. So I don't know how long the speech is going to be, but we are here, y'all. So give me one moment as I get y'all Queen's Court show together. Hang on. Still right here, everybody. I'm getting y'all Queen's Court show together. There is Tim Waltz there. And shout out to Tim Waltz and his family. I think the best thing that we got from Tim Waltz is that there are people out here that are really doing the good work, because that's the work that they want to do, not to get accolades, not to get praise, not to be affirmed to be something, but they do it because that is what they chose to do. So shout out to Tim Waltz and his great family. And Gus is our man. That emotional moment that we saw with Gus at the DNC saying, "That's my dad." What a moment for him. So give love, prayers, and support to him as well. We are live on tour. Kamala is getting ready to speak here in just a little bit from the Howard University. I'm getting your Queen's Court show together now. I'm glad to have all of you here. They're zooming in. Still right here, y'all. But yes, indeed, we are live. Okay, here it is, y'all. Let me get it up for y'all. Kamala Harris, here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let me say, and I love you back. And I love you back. So let me say, my heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for. But hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting. To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. the fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence. And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld. And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect, by looking in the face of a stranger.
Mamala, I'm sorry, not everybody fucking deserves respect, child. Nope, I love you, but nope. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Miss me.
To lift people up, to fight.
Now listen.
For the dignity that all people deserve. The fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work. And the fight for our country is always worth it. It is always worth it. To the young people who are watching, it is, I love you. To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before. You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves. This is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together. Look, many of you know I started out as a prosecutor, and throughout my career, I saw people at some of the worst times in their lives. People who had suffered great harm and great pain, and yet found within themselves the strength and the courage and the resolve to take the stand, to take a stand, to fight for justice, to fight for themselves, to fight for others. So let their courage be our inspiration. Let their determination be our charge. And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history, true of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service.
Hey, T-Talk. Hey, hey.
It's you. And may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you.
Well, there she is, y'all, Kamala Harris. He has conceded the election. There's her husband, Doug, first gentleman. I'll say this, right? And I said what I said, that some people don't deserve respect, and they don't. They don't. They just don't. I think that right is right and wrong is wrong. I think it's absolutely wrong that somebody that said that they could grab somebody by the ussy, that has to pay $88 million in a convicted case of sexual assault and rape, that they defrauded people, turned away blacks from housing, wanted 5 innocent black men to be unalived, even though they were proven innocent. He said that he would date his daughter if she wasn't his daughter. I just don't feel that that's right. Now, if anybody else were to do that, it would be over for him. I could care less about a misgendered individual. For everyone saying that it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of your world because you don't care about the world. And I'm being 10 toes down in it. I said my piece this morning, but this time it's my time to say what needs to be said. To any woman that is saying it's not the end of the world, well, when you have a child, I hope you're ready for the decision that if it comes between you and that child, I hope that you're able to take in the decision of when someone tells you in that room, hey, guess what? Everything's going to be all right. And I'm not wishing that on no woman. Let me make myself motherfucking ass clear, except for misgendered individuals with misgendered names. Okay, let me get that straight. I also want to say to the men out there that y'all do realize that slaves back in the day, when slaves ran away, guess who they got to get slaves? The police. Y'all wonder why so many people aren't here. Listen, I think it's quite frankly disrespectful to negate the feelings of today, that people aren't hurt, that people aren't upset, that people aren't weary, right? Yes, the police were the first slave catchers. You are absolutely right. And you know what's funny, Miss Z, is they never care about until it happens to them. So, for some of y'all, if your name is said out loud and somebody's like, well, I'm not wishing anything bad on them, I'm not wishing anything good either, that's your fault. That is your motherfucking ass fault. You understand? That's your fault. And you already think about the kids of today, right? These kids are braver than some adults. No child should have to go to school and worry about if they are able to make it home the next day. That was beautiful. Black woman and a white woman consoling each other, because even white people are getting tired of his shit. I really never understand our country of how do we want a country to move forward when we are broken and being still. And like I said to everybody that's trying to do an autopsy of Kamala Harris and what she did and she didn't do, go run for president. Let's see how your ass does it. Because I bet you this, you probably won't make it as far as Kamala Harris did. I bet you that. I don't have to bet no money. Because let me tell you something. For some of y'all that carry yourselves on YouTube, oh my God. Y'all can't stand it when people call you out on YouTube. Oh my God. You know what the gag is? Some of the black women that say that, she didn't earn the vote, this, that, and the third, and the black men, this, that, and the third. Y'all do realize that when the police pull you over, when you go to work, when you go to school, when you go to wherever, or when you lay down with your partner, you still are a black motherfucker than them, right? You do realize that. But then again, what do I know though, right? Just 30 years old, laying in bed, talking on YouTube. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. Do y'all not remember the burning of Black Wall Street? They wiped us out because they didn't want us here. That's what I'm saying. They're criticizing her campaign, but yet they've never ran a campaign their damn selves. At least Kamala is an actual woman, unlike misgendered individuals. like I don't get, how can your name be misgendered, but yet you speaking on a black woman? I don't get that. But yet let it be your niece, your cousin, your mother, your grandmother that has a child, but yet they tell you, well, hey, listen, I gotta decide whether to live or die. And you said on your community wall, that's not the end of the world. That's what you're gonna have to deal with your female family members. Well, they're female, you're unidentified, but that's neither here nor there, child. But listen, it is a sad day in America, but I don't believe it's the end of America. I think it is the end of America as we know it, for wanting equality, wanting equity, wanting inclusion, wanting equality. But I don't believe it's the end of people striving for that. I think the construct of what we believe could be possible, I think that construct has been broken. But I don't think the inroads to make that happen is over. You know what I mean? Why does she need to run a flawless campaign against two white men of very dubious character that barely even tried? I agree with that. She had to be perfect in every way. But yeah, it's like 34 felonies, though. Is that what we're doing? 34 felonies? So that's cool with y'all. So it's cool that somebody who's, kicked people out of housing, wanted to unalive people, raped people, grabbed them by the ussy. If anybody else were to do that in your family, you would be cool with that behavior? Now, this is just us talking now, because it's over now. This is just us talking. Y'all will be cool with that behavior? Really, y'all will be cool with that behavior? I'm just asking. Because see, what I've come to realize is when you talk about others, people could give two fucks about you. But when you bring up other people, that's when they give a fuck. So yeah, I'm making it personal. So to all the women that voted, I just want you to realize that you got to look at your kids, right? And imagine if your kid came home today and said that they said, I'm going to end the day. How are you going to be able to handle that? But yet you said on your community wall, it's not the end of the world. How do you say to a child it's not the end of the world when they got bullied for being an in at school because of racists? Explain that. How do you tell your child it's not the end of the world when they almost didn't make it because somebody wanted to be crazy with a pow pow? Explain that to me. No, really, I want a conversation. I really do, because I don't think you have the faculties to have the conversation. But I just really want to know, how does that phrase help anybody? It's not the end of the world. I really want to know that. It's not the end of the world if some woman's bleeding in a parking lot. It's not the end of the world if somebody gets pulled over and they haven't done nothing wrong, but yet their life is ended because of somebody's fear, their own fear of the unknown, when all this is just a conversation to clear things up. How does the phrase, it's not the end of the world, help anybody? I really want to know that. Really, I do. Can somebody answer that for me? How is is not the end of the world help anybody? How does it's not the end of the world help a black woman? Do y'all not know about the Fearless Fund? That got cut because of a white racist. Yeah, that Fearless Fund that was for black women, for them to get venture capital, that got cut because they said it wasn't equity for white women to enter. I told y'all about societal slavery. I told y'all that. Now listen, this message ain't true for you. Don't pick it up and be a professional victim. But if you pick it up and be a professional victim, a hit dog will holler. And listen, we are all public figures out here. You got the right to be dragged, criticized, and called out on your bullshit. And this ain't cool. This goes beyond party. Because here's the gag. If Kamala did any of that, I would be calling her ass out too. Y'all know me by now. I called out Kelly Price, and shout out to Chef Don for giving us that story. Chef Don gave a story that Kelly Price said that a Sunday best judge fornicated with boys and messed around with somebody's spouse, but did not give the name. That's what Kelly Price said. But now uproar happened about that. So is it not the end of the world for those people that got hurt by that Sunday best judge? Is it not the end of the world for all the women that got abused by Diddy? Is it not the end of the world for Cassie when she got mollywopped? Is it not the end of the world for what R. Kelly did? But God forbid if it happened to you. You want somebody to give a fuck about your ass, though, right? Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing? Is that what the fuck we're doing? So until it happens to you, it's not the end of the world for everybody else. But when it happens to you, you want somebody to give a fuck about your world. That's the power imbalance that we're making here. So this is why I haven't made it yet to network television, nor cable television, because this voice needs to say things in this way. But because we gotta be in that box, not hit that glass ceiling, to stay on our speed when we see that somebody's being slow in our lane. And then guess what? Why were you so late? Well, I had to follow the rules to get here. Nothing wrong with following the rules, but I believe that if it's wrong for a Republican to do those things, it should also be wrong that a Democrat would do those things too. And that's truly where I'm at. This has gone past a black woman, Jamaican woman, Indian woman. This is right and wrong is wrong. If Kamala Harris did any of what 45 did, she would be flamed at the stake as well, and should be. That's where this comes down to. We really are the cause of our own rise and demise. We want black people to be great, but yet it's never enough. That's why I said Issa Rae was stupid as fuck for what she said about I'm rooting for everybody black. No, not everybody black deserves to be given a fuck about. And I know what y'all gonna say. Well, Brand, I could go back on you too, right? Wow, thank you so much. That's breaking news to my brain cells, you dumb fucks. I got that. But see, the problem is I stay on my square. That's the problem. It's a problem for y'all, ain't a problem for me. I rise up the good and I drag down the bad all the time over here. Like I said this morning at 11 a.m., you would have got 6, 7, 8 destinations, a whole roadmap of topics. But I knew this morning that there were going to be some people afraid to wake up this morning. There's going to be people trying to navigate a world that doesn't really want them. And how do you give emotion to life when you feel like you can't live a life? That audience deserves to be heard, deserves to be respected, deserves to be embraced. Like Kamala said, on the surface, you're right. Everybody does deserve respect. Everybody deserves a fair shot. Everybody deserves to be invested in it. But Mama, the gag is, in order to receive respect, you got to give respect. And not everybody does it. Like I said, if what I'm saying ain't true about you, don't respond to me. Don't respond. Don't respond, because what I have to say should not be your business if you have a purpose. Boys and girls do anything for attention. Men and women do something for a purpose. So if you have a purpose, move about your purpose. But if you're seeking attention, go ahead and respond, because that's all you got to achieve. Okay. Anyway, I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come on up. I don't know if T-Talk is going to go live or not. Like I said, I do have that show for y'all at 6 o'clock here. with Queen's Court. It was a good episode. It was a very, very good episode. So we'll talk about that here in just about under an hour. But yeah, today's a huge day. And like Aries Girl Podcast said, 22nd Amendment, after this, he can't run again. He cannot run again. He's done 2 terms. So after this, he is done. And I think that will be the real victory for everybody, is that when it's done, it's done. And on top of all that, if you don't like what's being done, go do something about it. But also, too, to the government, can you put in standards and requirements, okay, for being president or for running for being a representative, that you have had to do 3 years to 5 years of being in government? Yeah. Oh, yeah, since everybody's complaining about what this person ain't doing, that person ain't doing, let's put a lock on your potential for 3 years to 5 years, and let's see how you prove yourself out to be something. And I think if we had those standards and requirements and resumes and cover letters and references and interviews, we might have a better government. Just a thought. Only role I will ever be able to do in government is be the press secretary. As I often said to my friends, there'll be 2 press conferences every day. One on CNN for all the other channels, and one on HBO every day. Because y'all know. Y'all damn well know. I would not play. Now, of course, my mother. My dad, he understands, that I have a bit of a mouth for me. But of course, your parents want to see you do better because they know better is in you. They taught you better, right? But my mom, I know she'll be like, now, Braylon, did you really have to do an HBO? Do you have to do an HBO press conference every day? Yes, I do. Because the black people ain't going to tune into the CNN one. They're going to tune into that HBO one to feel that they're heard. But hey, listen, that's why I'm not there. Because I wasn't chosen to be there. It's one thing to call yourself, it's another thing to be chosen. So, oh, my Lord Jesus. So, yes, indeed, here. Yes, indeed. So, yep. Thank y'all for the 12 likes. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. The link is pinned there if you guys want to come up for a little bit. I'll give y'all at least a full hour before I turn off my camera here. I have my camera off for the first part of it because I wanted y'all to hear Kamala fully. But when she said what she said about everybody deserves to, I'm like, hold up, shorty, hold up, ish. Hold up, shorty, hold up, ish. Hold up, shorty, hold up, ish. No. The question is, does anybody want to do that? The answer is hell no. We got to quit, trying to, stay in the box to protect everybody else. Like I told you, I watched the United States versus Billie Holiday with Audrey Day, and Lee Daniels did his shit in that film. It was a great film to me, great film. And what I've recognized from Billie Holiday in that film is that sometimes the system will make a villain out of someone just so they can have a fight. And I think that's what this country did. I really do. I think they voted on the chance of an opportunity, but not a space of evolution. Because voting for a chance to win versus making spaces to win are two completely different realms of thought. And so it was interesting in the movie The United States versus Billie Holiday, because this white person in government really thought that jazz music was the devil's music. And this person did not want Billie Holiday to sing Strange Fruit. Why? Because it was a call out to the ish. And they tried to set up Billie Holiday so that way they wouldn't have to deal with their truth. Now, remember in the film, and this is said in a particular scene, I won't give it away, but she said your grandchildren will be singing Strange Fruit. And years later, Strange Fruit made into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And everybody now knows about it. So she is right on the fact that the fight does take a little bit longer, but that doesn't mean we're not going to win. Now, I know she's trying to bring peace to the valley right now, but, honestly, people could really give two fucks, damn. So it's just about it. But for the people trying to find something to hold on to, I understand why she did what she did. It is always the hardest to be a cheerleader when you want to be the enemy. It really is. It's hard to be the cheerleader when you want to be the enemy. Now, I don't mean the enemy of destruction. I mean the enemy of causing good trouble. And the gag is, like, Mitch McConnell said that he was an ignoramus. Mitch McConnell, the turtle, doesn't like 45. For him to say that? Come on now. And that's the head of the Republican Party in Congress. When the head of your party in Congress doesn't like you existing as the president, that says something. Oh, my Lord Jesus. We're almost there to almost a full hour, and then I'm going to get off of here and then get ready for Queen's Court. But Vanessa asked me, was I going live? And I knew she was going to go live at 4. I was finishing up watching Queen's Court. And I was like, should I really do this? Because I'm already kind of over it. But, of course, you know how we are. We're a very cultural channel. When the culture is talking about something, we talk about it. So it wouldn't make any sense to cover the DNC, to cover, the debates, to cover election night for 10 hours straight, by the way, till 5 o'clock in the morning, and then not cover the, the concession speech. So, oh, man. So, yes, indeed. We are still chilling here. Glad to have all you here still. Here's the thing, too. Just because you get called out doesn't mean people don't want you to be well, right? Last time I checked, I thought it was cool to have a difference of opinion. I think the problem is you can have a difference of opinion, but when you undermine, disrespect, and you negate other people's feelings just so you can feel like you have a point of view, that's when people get upset. There's no wrong for difference of opinion. Come with facts, come with your truth, and respect the culture and the history of that culture. with that difference of opinion, I'm always cool. I think Miss Z will tell you. I think T Talk with Your Girl will tell you. I think Vanessa and many others, Divine Virtuous Woman, Nikki News and Narcissism, I think they will tell you we have disagreed on many different destinations here. And I have said out loud out of my own mouth that Braylon is not right about every destination that he's traveled to that's been a hot topic. There's been times I put 20 on 10. But you know what I do though? I'm always open, because my 3 rules are: let your mind be present, let your spirit be available, and have the soul to be open to what can be. I've always done that. Always over here. For any topic. There's been some topics I did not want to talk about. For example, the Big Meech thing, really could care less about it. But because I know that, listen, the culture's talking about it, and hip hop is a huge thing, we talk about it. That's when you understand the assignment is bigger than you. You find out what's relatable within that topic for your audience. That is called being a servant. Now everybody knows how to do that. I would say 10 times out of 10, I'm on the pulse of the culture. There are other times I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball, sure. But also, too, who's never been behind the 8 ball before? Just asking. So yeah, Braylon can be wrong sometimes. I'll gladly admit that. That's no L for me. I think it's an L for other people when they don't recognize that while you can call that person out on their ish, you can't originate their resume of what they do. The reason why I'm going to be fine is because we got the content. Like I said, some of y'all one-trick ponies, and that's all you can do. YouTube only rise and demise on YouTube based on you. The original slogan is broadcast yourself. And here it is here. And this was the slogan for years. I think people have gone away from this of broadcasting yourself and broadcasting what matters to you. I think social media has been more has become more about broadcasting what others want to talk about more than what matters to them. And when you broadcast more for others than for yourself, your content isn't authentic. It is. It is. You know what I mean? So, but listen, I think the country is going to be as broken as it is until the country wants to heal itself. Hey, Erica, good to see you, my friend. Hopefully all is well with you. We're just here chilling. Glad to have you here. I'm going to be ending the show here in just a little bit. I'll stay here for like maybe 5 more minutes just for you because you came in. But yeah, we're just chilling. But yes, indeed. So broadcast yourself, but also broadcast you and what you actually want to talk about. Because here's the thing, the more you dilute yourself into being one thing, people will only know you for being one thing. My mom, she said something to me I'll never forget. I told some young people about my cumulative GPA story because I was on a 1.0 cumulative GPA, academic war, and close getting kicked out of school. Graduated, though, with no debt to my name. Praise be unto God for my parents. And I told that GPA story. My mom said, why do you keep telling that story? I'm like, well, because it was a challenging time in my life and I made it through. I think it's important. My mom said, Braylon, if you keep telling that story, that's all they know about you. So if you keep telling content about, if you keep producing content about one thing, that's all they're going to know about you. You can do what you want to do. But you see, most of your favorite celebrities, they're not one-trick ponies. They're multi-dimensional. Multiple streams of income doesn't come from being a one-trick pony. Off camera. Working, but saw you were on, feeling a little heavy-hearted, but we'll be okay, guys. Oh, I know. It just hurts a little bit today, and there's nothing wrong with it hurting today, you know. See, I'll stay here just a little bit longer for you, Erica. Hopefully the work day is going well. So, yep, we'll stay here until 1:10, and then we'll get off of here and then get ready for the Queen's Court review. Got some good notes, and we got a lot to talk about. All good, beautiful, all good. I just want to make sure that you had at least a little bit of time with me. So, yeah, y'all, this was a chill session. I love being able to do these pop-up ones on y'all because it takes it out the algorithm a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, so. So yeah, we'll end it here at 105 then. Since you said you didn't want to hold me up. Understood. Just want to make space for you, Erica. That's all. That is all. So. Jesus Christ. It is all good. So we'll wait one more minute and then we'll head on out. Like I said, I'll be back here in less than an hour with a Queen's Court review for y'all. Should be a good time. All right, y'all. Well, one love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you all. Erica Fleming, thank you for being here. Love you, Miss Z. Love you. T-Talk with your girl. Love you, Vanessa. Love you, Nikki News Narcissism. Love you, Miss Cheryl H. Tough as well. Make sure I get everybody. Yep, I think that's everybody. We'll have a good time, child. So, love you all. See y'all in an hour. All right, bye-bye.